welcome from the Car HMI USA. My name is Maria and I'm standing here with James Forbes. Hi, and thank you for taking this time for our interview.
Oh, you're welcome.
And you are the manager for interaction and ergonomics attributes at Ford. So can you just briefly introduce your work field?
Sure. So we're in the engineering side of the business, in vehicle engineering, and my group is responsible for assuring the findability, accessibility, and operability of automotive system interfaces, primarily the cockpit, but really the entire interface from bumper to bumper.
Okay. And what does modern HMI and user experience in cars entail for you?
Well, it's stretching ourselves on a daily basis and going from interfaces that we've developed over the course of decades and we're very familiar with, and instead of making small refinements to those interfaces, really it's looking at new paradigms and things at changing at a much more rapid pace.
So is there an HMI or user experience feature that you want to see in the next years deployed in cars, like the feature for you?
You know, there's so many that I think the thing that I'm most interested in is to see which company, either OEM or supplier, is able to bring the next key features out. I mean, it's certainly coming from the basis of infotainment and nav and things that we think are very normal in cars, and to see what is really going to resonate with customers that we don't do today.
Okay, so it's a bit of research, a bit of testing, and then see what comes out next, more or less.
Yeah, and the market will decide.
Yeah, as always.
Yeah.
And that brings me right to my next question. You are moderating interactive challenge your peer sessions, and you try to discuss which new displays technologies are really necessary. So which one can we skip, and what is really necessary for the next good user experience?
It's an interesting choice of words, because maybe nothing is necessary. Maybe we can drive a car with no displays. I think we've done that for many years. So it's not really about necessary fit for driving. It's necessary to be competitive in the marketplace. And that's a broader question. So, and in that sense, necessary really means, is it competitive? Do we look good relative to the other offerings in the marketplace?
And what should the participants take also away from this discussion?
Oh, that it's a hard question. That it's a hard question, and it's more than just the traditional engineering, whether it's human factors or mechanical engineering, electrical engineering, that there's just so much emphasis on the human factors and the marketing aspects of it, really.
And you are also hosting another interactive session, a World Cafe tomorrow, entitled Complexity versus Simplicity. So how do I balance these two? That is a complex enough feature, or that I have a lot of features, HMI features in my car, but they are easy to use, I would say. So how do I balance this?
And that's an interesting concept as well, because it doesn't necessarily relate directly to how much the vehicle can do. Very complex systems can present to the user in a very simplistic way, if that's what the user desires. Depending on the segment, depending on the target customer, maybe that's the person that wants to dig into it and be a little more hands-on and customize it and demonstrate their proficiency and their expertise to their friends and really think that they're getting their own experience. So that's a rationale for greater complexity as another segment of the population that would like a more curated experience and something that's completely simple. You go to the concierge desk and say, make my reservation, and that's all.
So it's a bit like with all the apps that we're seeing for smartphones. Some are really complex, and you can personalize them to a level where you think, wow, and some of them are just like click a button and it's done. Yeah,
that's exactly analogies,
Okay, and last question for me. So how do you like the conference so far? We have, like also with you, different types. We have the World Cafes, the Challenge Appears, the Icebreaker yesterday, and of course traditional case studies and keynotes. So how do you like the mix of the formats?
Yeah, I think that this conference draws a very good mix from OEMs, the supply base, and academia. It's been nice to see non-automotive representatives in here as well. My personal background is I tend to like more of a curated technical presentation, and it has some of that, but it also mixes in things that are a little less formal, which is good.
To widen the horizon and the user experience, more to say.
Absolutely.
Wonderful. Thank you for taking this time for this little chat, and enjoy the rest of the conference.
Thank you very much.